you texting?
Amanda, I want to get feedback from that meeting. Feedback, question mark, send.
And you're texting her right now?
Yeah, I want to know what she thinks.
You're driving with your boss, and she's clearly more interested in texting than driving. You don't want to be rude, but it appears pretty risky. What do you do? What do you do?
Why are we frozen?
I don't know. I saw you freeze and I just froze.
I just suddenly saw that guy and I didn't know what to do.
So, should we just...
Welcome to a place beyond light and sound, where everything is perplexing. Welcome to the Distraction Zone. In the Distraction Zone, danger is around every corner, and you never know when it's coming because you'll be texting your boss. Now, this program will show you the many dangers of driving while distracted. What do you think are the biggest distractions while driving? Some examples are your phone.
Oh, feedback from Amanda.
Passengers.
I'm letting the dogs out.
Food.
Ooh, candy. Let me have some.
Driving
Pets.
like a good boy. Look how safe you're driving.
Grooming.
In 12 feet,
GPS.
turn left onto
what'd you
right
say?
lane, then get
Left
into
here
the right lane
or at the
and
light?
merge left.
Distracted driving is any activity that takes your attention away from the primary task of safe driving. Operating a vehicle is a complex activity that requires all your attention. Would you send a text while using a chainsaw? Probably not. That same caution should be applied to driving. Every driving distraction jeopardizes the safety of drivers, passengers, and bystanders, putting everyone at risk. Today, we'll focus on the use of cell phones and electronic devices behind the wheel. Here's a video taken from a passenger's point of view, illustrating the dangers of using a cell phone while driving.
Tonight, disturbing new cell phone video showing that pickup truck swerving on a rural Texas highway.
Somebody needs to stop them.
Just minutes before authorities say it crashed head-on into this church bus, killing 13 people on board.
You're talking about grandmothers, grandfathers. There was a husband and wife on that same bus together.
Jody Kutchler was trailing the truck for a half hour Wednesday, watching as it crossed into oncoming traffic, coming dangerously close to this truck. Just after that devastating crash he predicted, Kutchler says he pulled over, and the 20-year-old driver, Jack Young, admitted to him that he'd been texting behind the wheel.
I said, son, do you realize what you just did? And he said, I'm sorry, I was texting.
Any cell phone use behind the wheel is dangerous. In recent years, risky habits have been on the rise. Now, more than ever, people are sending emails, reading texts, recording videos, taking pictures. They're even updating and checking social media. Here's an example.
We're all guilty of it, looking down at our cell phone for things that are relatively unimportant in the big picture. And it's a staunch reminder of what not to do.
A quick decision holds grave consequences. Carly Cecil was driving along I-5 heading north when she decided to take a moment to look at her phone to check her Facebook feed. But in that moment, Cecil ran into Kyung Park, who had pulled over to change one of his tires. Park died at the scene from his injuries, and Cecil is now charged with vehicular homicide. The tragic event highlights what's at stake when drivers aren't paying attention, and how quickly everything can change.
Hang on. We all love our cell phones. I love my cell phone. And we can't put them down, even while driving. The first cell phone was invented in 1973, and it wasn't widely released to the public until 1983. It cost about $4,000.
$4,000 in 1983? That's like $12,000 now.
In 1992, the first text message was sent from a computer to a cell phone. But the cell phone couldn't respond.
No. Don't do it. It's a pyramid scheme. That's all your savings. No!
In 2002, the first camera phone came out, but the resolution was terrible.
It's not a St. Bernard. It's my mother. I think.
In 2007, the first iPhone didn't have apps, and the App Store didn't even open until 2008. And now, we live in the 5G world, where the possibilities are endless. A new phone can process information 25 to 100 times faster than even just a few phones ago. In the year 2000, less than 40% of the population had a cell phone. In 2023, 114% of the population had a phone. That means there were more cell phone subscriptions than people in the U.S. More people are using cell phones than ever before, and many people have more than one. We love our cell phones. Yes, who's the beautiful one? Research shows that we are very attached to our phones and can't seem to put them down. Given so, one might have to ask, do you have nomophobia? Nomophobia is defined as fear or anxiety caused by being without your mobile phone.
Stupid national park with stupid trees and stupid mountains and 0 bars.
Don't email yet? Come on, Nigerian prince, give me my money.
Oh, look at my battery. It's at 7%. How can I possibly exist? 6%!
There it is. I'm somehow less of a man without it.
Let's find out if you have nomophobia. If you checked any of those boxes, you might just have nomophobia. Let's take another quiz. How far would you go for your phone? I went back 50 years to another dimension. And I missed you. I missed you so much. Yes. But paying attention to your cell phone while driving is dangerous. Oh, don't worry. I would never put you in danger. 38% of drivers said that they have talked on a handheld phone while driving. Distracted driving crashes cause thousands of deaths and hundreds of thousands of injuries every year. And that's why I always put you far away from my hands.
Who had the small fries? I know Tom had the large.
I had small fry and iced tea.
I had a large iced tea and a burger.
All right. You guys keep sorting it out. I'm going to get going.
Hey, not cool. Why don't we take a few minutes and eat and then we can drive?
I'm fine to drive. I do this all the time.
Not with me in the car, you don't.
Yeah, let's stop and eat.
Okay.
Sometimes the danger is right in your hands.
Dude, what are you doing?
The danger is
Dude,
right
what's your
in
deal?
your hands. Shh! Watch this.
Be there probably, I don't know, 20 minutes. Does it sound good? Yeah. I'll be... Oh, crap-a-lap-a ding-dong.
What?
Distracted driving can happen in a lot of ways.
Oh, crap-a-lap-a ding-dong. Crap-a-lap-a ding-dong. Wow. Oh, crap-a-lap-a ding-dong.
There are lots of ways of being distracted while driving. It helps to be aware of what distracts you.
That guy's getting on my nerves.
There are 3 types of distraction. Visual, anything that takes your eyes off the road.
Ooh, shiny.
Manual, anything that takes your hands off the wheel. And cognitive, anything that takes your mind off the task of driving.
Shiny. 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 Shiny.
Texting is particularly dangerous because it involves all 3. Cognitive distraction is the most critical type of distraction. You might hear people proudly refer to their ability to multitask, but it's been proven that multitasking is a myth. Instead of performing multiple tasks at the same time, the brain switches quickly back and forth between each task. The brain just can't perform 2 thinking tasks at the same time. So if you are driving and talking on your cell phone, your attention to driving becomes secondary to the phone conversation. Let's talk about the risk levels of attempting to multitask based on the tasks being done. A thinking task, talking on the phone, combined with a non-thinking task, petting a dog, usually not very risky.
Look, all I'm saying is maybe we should take things slow a while.
But a thinking task, talking on the phone, combined with another thinking task in a stationary environment, sitting and reading, not very risky.
Take it slow. All I'm asking is, can you send me the Pearson file? I meet with them tomorrow.
A thinking task, talking on the phone, combined with another thinking task in a dynamic environment, driving, is very risky.
I see.
What?
Currently that we have 3 layers of
Sorry.
management. I'd like to cut
What?
that down to 2.
Say it again.
Let's illustrate how multitasking results in cognitive distraction. Follow along with me. Alternate letters and numbers. Now, let's multitask. You can join at home. A1, B2, C3.
A1, B2,
C3.
4, D4.
If E5.
H, 8,
I, J, 9, J10.
9, no.
It's not as easy as it seems. Here's a video of people driving distracted while trying to multitask.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Get a text while driving? Wait for it. A message from the California Highway Patrol and the California Office of Traffic Safety.
There are 3 things that occur when you experience cell phone distraction.
All right, so I'm getting ready to push Keely in the pool.
Yeah.
When I see her look behind me, and all of a sudden, whoa!
Oh!
Did you see that guy cut me off? I didn't even see him in the lane next to me.
Tom just experienced tunnel vision. By being on the phone, even though hands-free, he did not see what was going on around him. Their field of vision is reduced, and they may miss up to 50% of their surroundings. They look, but do not see. The top picture shows the field of vision for drivers not on a cell phone. The bottom picture shows how much a driver misses when they use a cell phone, even hands-free. Tunnel vision can cause you to miss 5 ducks. The second type of problem encountered is inattention blindness.
One time I was gonna get pushed in the pool, and just as they were gathering behind me, they know I'm defensive like a squirrel. Oh, dang, I just missed the exit.
What?
Inattention blindness is when you miss things around you. If you checked any of those answers, you may have experienced inattention blindness, similar to tunnel vision. When you use your cell phone while driving, you may look, but don't see.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Man, I could totally picture Keely in attack mode. That's probably how she got the reputation of a cornered squirrel. Oh, man, I'm not even on the phone and I still missed my exit.
Julie just experienced distraction hangover. She remains distracted even after the call ends. Your distraction hangover can last up to 25 seconds, resulting in continuing danger after you end a phone call or text. This continuing distraction could mean you failed to notice dangerous traffic situations. If you are not giving driving 100% of your attention, what might you miss? In addition to other vehicles, you might miss roadway users such as bicyclists, skateboarders, motorcycles, and pedestrians. You might also miss road workers. Construction zones can be challenging to navigate, made even harder when your attention isn't fully focused on the road conditions and the people working close by. Emergency workers along the side of the road are also at growing risk from distracted drivers. Let's take a look at this video to learn more.
This moment changed Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Mithil Patel's life last December. Troopers say a suspected distracted driver lost control. Patel throws another man to safety right before being hit himself. New research from the National Safety Council found 71% of drivers copped to taking photos and texting while driving by emergency workers. That's nearly triple the 24% who admitted to doing it under normal driving conditions. 60% admitted to posting to social media. 2/3 have emailed about what they're driving by.
What surprised us most about this study was the magnitude of people who are really exercising very dangerous behavior. They're adding another level of exposure to these first responders.
Let's talk more about cell phone use, but first, I want to test your knowledge. The answer is no. With passengers in the car, traffic and obstacles become a topic of conversation due to shared situational awareness. Your passenger isn't likely to suddenly say, "You never tell me you love me anymore," in the middle of a difficult left turn, but the person on the phone might.
I still love you! I was joking!
Everyone in the car knows the traffic conditions faced by the driver, so the conversation remains appropriate for the situation. A passenger offers an additional set of eyes as well. The answer is no. 80% of drivers falsely believe that hands-free devices are safer than handheld ones. Whether hands-free or handheld, the brain still remains distracted by the conversation. The risk of getting into a crash when using these devices behind the wheel is 4 times greater than not talking on the phone while driving. Here are some creative ways people have used the phone while driving. Do these look safe? Next, we'll explore reaction times. Drivers talking on cell phones have been shown to have longer reaction times than a driver with a .08 BAC, the legal limit for intoxication for drivers 21 and over. However, drivers talking on a cell phone can eliminate their risk after just 25 seconds by ending the call. Well, Drivers at a .08 BAC will remain at risk for as long as it takes them to sober up. Now, let's talk about texting and driving. The risk of a crash caused by texting is at least double the risk caused by talking on the phone. This crash risk can increase up to 23 times when driving heavy vehicles and trucks. And did you know voice to text is even more distracting than typing texts by hand? That's because most of us proofread and correct messages before sending. Let me demonstrate. I'm picking up Hunan beef for dinner. To illustrate the risk of texting while driving, we have a challenge for you. Pick up your phone and follow these instructions. In a moment, you will hear the sound of a horn. When you hear the horn, pull up a contact from your phone. Type in the text message, "Be there in 10." But don't actually send it. Ready?
Audio Jungle.
Were you able to finish the text before the second horn? The second horn sounded after 4.6 seconds, which is the average amount of time it takes to type and send a text. At 55 miles per hour, this is the equivalent of you driving blind the length of a football field, including the end zones, a distance of 120 yards. Do you sometimes drive 70 miles per hour? And at 70 miles per hour, you've just traveled for 1.5 football fields driving blind. So what does 4.6 seconds look like? It happens a lot faster than anyone expects. Another texting risk is that it can provoke road rage.
What's wrong with you? You could have killed me, you jackalope. Get off the road, you spacklemaker.
What's wrong with you? You get off the road.
Have you ever seen this type of driver? Sadly, incidents involving aggressive, irate, or irrational drivers happen every day, and the outcomes can be grim. Drivers who engage in criminal threats or use a vehicle to cause harm or death can have consequences for their actions. They can lose their license. They can even be arrested and prosecuted and thrown in jail.
The guilty verdict brings to a close a case that took a 6-year-old boy's life.
On May 21, 2021, Aiden's mom was driving him to kindergarten when she says a woman in a white VW cut her off.
Ms. Clunan left the HOV lane and began to move over towards the right to get off the freeway. And she gave the middle finger to the vehicle, to the male passenger, out of anger. Something she would come to regret beyond comprehension.
Marcus Arice fired a single bullet. It ripped through the trunk and pierced Aiden's lungs, liver, and heart. The jury could have convicted Arice on a lesser charge, but it took them less than 2 hours to decide this was murder. Arice faces 40 years to life behind bars.
There are many behaviors that provoke a driver to feel road rage, and I know you have never done any of these things. Speeding, aggression, texting, and impaired driving are safety concerns among California drivers. Many people are out of control on the road these days, and the stress of COVID-19 didn't help. It turns out that 2 years of being stuck in homes and having outdoor holiday parties with masks on increased aggression on the roads. How might you avoid road rage or an aggressive driver? Stay alert. Drive responsibly and be aware of dangerous behaviors around you. Follow traffic laws, including not texting while driving. Don't engage with aggressive motorists. Don't respond with negative behavior that could escalate the situation. Call 911 to report unsafe or dangerous drivers. What about technology? This was a partial list of the potential distractions being built into vehicles. Things like GPS, blind spot monitoring, assisted parking, cameras, touchscreens, and voice controls. Let's talk about gig workers. The term gig is a slang word used for a job that lasts a specified period of time. It's often used by musicians and actors like me. I'm on an acting gig right now. Gig drivers are a relatively new thing. They make our lives easier by delivering our packages or on-demand food or getting us to the airport, but these workers are constantly on their phones and rely heavily on apps while they drive from gig to gig. This results in more distracted drivers on the road. 40% of gig workers reported that apps were a constant distraction while driving. And these drivers are on the road day and night on highways and in your neighborhoods, distracted drivers, for you to be aware of.
A new study from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found that gig economy employees, those who work job to job, are the worst offenders when it comes to distracted driving.
We found 65% of our survey participants reported engaging in at least one secondary task.
That would include fiddling with navigation apps, eating, and even playing games on your smartphone while driving. All that doesn't take long to create a hazardous driving situation.
And now, smartwatches have been added to the mix. Cool, huh? Yeah. What's not so cool is that they create a new distraction while driving. Smartwatches require the use of two hands, one to wear the watch and the other to operate it. Drivers checking text messages or emails on smartwatches lose concentration and react even more slowly to potential hazards than when using a cell phone, despite the feeling of being hands-free.
Shh, I got a phone call. Hello?
Hello. Are you driving distracted?
Nope, no distractions here.
Well, what about this phone call?
Nope, I'm perfectly safe. I'm talking to you hands-free.
Yes, but is it really safe?
Are you riding next to us?
Yes. But are you sure speaking on the phone, hands-free, is actually safe?
Dude, no helmet. You're sideways on a motorcycle. You're not safe.
I'm also fictional. From another time, another dimension, another soundstage. What's your excuse, True, but handheld and hands-free are equally dangerous because of the cognitive distraction. Just because it's legal doesn't make it safe. I mean, it's legal for me to dress up like a piñata and hang out near the batting cages. But I'm not making that mistake again. False. For drivers under 18, other than emergency calls to 911, absolutely no phone use is allowed. Not even calls from your talent agent. True. If you are cited for distracted driving more than one time within 3 years, you get a point on your record. And that's a great way to hike up your car insurance rates. False. It's illegal to hold or operate a cell phone for any reason while driving. And if you mount your phone to use it hands-free, you can only put it here, here, or here. And avoid those dangerous airbag deployment zones. Making a call on the side of the freeway is only legal in an emergency, such as a vehicle breakdown or to report dangerous conditions or criminal activity. But you can make a call when stopped in any area off the freeway where parking is allowed, even if your engine is running. But now, let's look at the consequences of distracted driving. What do you call a cell phone driver who's caused a fatality? A criminal? Well, injuries and deaths resulting from cell phone use while driving can have serious consequences. The following video illustrates how the legal system is sending stronger messages about the seriousness of distracted driving.
Tonight, a New Jersey woman is facing up to a decade in prison after being convicted in a groundbreaking case. She was texting while driving.
Surveillance video shows the moments before Alexandra Mansonette's black Mercedes plowed into the back of a red Toyota Corolla. The impact was so hard it bashed in the back of the Corolla, propelling it into 39-year-old Ewan Wang, who was in the crosswalk. During Mansonette's 3-week trial, prosecutors claimed she was texting about dinner plans.
The text read, Cuban, American, or Mexican. Pick one. In court, prosecutors told the jury they believed Mansonette was in the process of responding Mexican, but it only managed to type the letters M-E when the crash occurred.
No evidence in our accident investigation that showed that there was evasive action taken, there were any skid marks that would show that she braked. So the first time she realized that she had struck something is when the actual collision occurred.
Last Friday, Mansonette was found guilty of vehicular homicide. It's believed to be the first time a 2012 New Jersey law that treats a texting driver as harshly as a drunken driver was tested in court.
My name is Leslie Henson, and on March 4th, my husband and I, David Henson, started out on a walk, and we headed towards the Sunbrook Golf Course. And as we were walking along Dixie Drive, the sidewalk there, we were involved in an auto pedestrian accident. There was a driver that was texting. She was driving distracted over the speed limit, and she ran into a car which pushed that car into us. My husband David was killed on impact, and I sustained several injuries. I was life-flighted to Utah Valley Regional Medical Center to their trauma unit in Provo and received a lot of professional care, and I am supposed to have a full recovery. 9 people a day are killed by distracted drivers. We get in our cars and we put on our seatbelts. I feel the same should be done with cell phones. We get in our car and we turn off our cell phones, and it could save a life.
Remember, 9 people a day are killed by distracted drivers. The courts are paying more attention to distracted driving too. Recently, a Florida judge issued the maximum sentence of 30 years in prison after a distracted driver caused the death of a 9-year-old child. The judge called his actions conscious disregard for life.
Man was sentenced to 30 years in prison for causing a death while using his cell phone behind the wheel.
Prosecutors say Andriotis was going 86 miles an hour while surfing the web, downloading apps, and even paying bills on his smartphone. The impact of the crash killed 9-year-old Logan and severely injured his sister and parents. Andriotis was found guilty of vehicular homicide and reckless driving with serious bodily injury. He's also ordered to pay the shearers over $100,000 in restitution.
If you are using a cell phone behind the wheel, you can't hide it. The truth will come out. Cellular forensic technology has advanced for both law enforcement and the private sector. When using a cell phone, there are no secrets, as technology allows investigators to access text message content, including date and time, call logs for incoming and outgoing calls, records of websites visited and browsing histories, location, date, and time for photographs taken, and GPS and pinging locations. These days, there's a record for almost everything you do. On average, people are photographed or recorded on video at least 60 to 70 times each day. Surveillance cameras at ATMs, gas stations, restaurants, shopping malls, and traffic lights are watching you, whether you're camera ready or not. If you are involved in a traffic crash, a responding officer will complete a collision report form where they can document if any cell phone use occurred while driving. Officers see people do all kinds of things. This is a story from California Highway Patrol Officer Jake Sanchez about an encounter with a woman on a cell phone.
Now, I swore I'd seen everything you can do with a cell phone in a car. I was wrong. Southbound 15, south of Mira Mesa, I looked to my right, young lady on her pink cell phone. I follow her for 3 miles, again, until I get to Miramar Way. The entire time, the cell phone's up to her ear. We get there, she looks left, she makes eye contact with me, and the cell phone becomes dislodged from her face. She pauses for about 2 seconds. Now I'm thinking, what is she gonna do with it? I'm assuming she's thinking, what am I gonna do with it, right? She pauses for a second and she does this, right? Pretty freaking hilarious, right? Now I'm cracking up in my patrol car because that's hilarious. I get behind her, still laughing as I'm hitting my lights and we're starting to pull over. Now we get over to the right shoulder and normally I get out of my car pretty quick. This time I actually took about 30 seconds though to compose myself before I got out. I didn't want to walk up to her car and laugh in her face, right? So I gathered myself, I walked up there and I said, ma'am, Officer Sanchez, California Highway Patrol, reason I stopped just for the cell phone. Now I got to hand it to her, she was honest. She said, Officer Sanchez, you're right, I'm so sorry. My mother called, I hadn't heard from her in a couple days and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Well, what was I thinking? Right? Another application back there. No, I was thinking that I wanted her to know that I saw her brushing her hair with her cell phone, right? Because she didn't say anything about that. So I paused for a second. I said, ma'am, I'm curious. Did you get a new application for your cell phone? She looked at me funny. She's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, you didn't get a new app that works as a hairbrush? She's like, oh my God, you saw me, right? I said, yeah, I saw you. She starts laughing and I started laughing and then I wrote her a ticket.
Just as there are many ways to become distracted, there are also many possibilities for how those distractions can impact you.
I got a ticket.
Depending on the severity of the distraction. The results?
I got a suspended license.
Well, you should be aware that the consequences of distracted driving can be severe.
I totaled my car by driving into my kitchen.
And sometimes the consequences are incredibly painful.
I was looking at my phone and I hit a little girl and her mom.
And he'll have a long time to think about it, too. In prison.
The black and white dude makes some good points.
It won't take a huge effort to just stop doing everything else while I'm driving. I mean, the thought of doing something... Ah! 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 Ah!
Yes, distractions can affect you in a big way, and you need to limit your distractions whenever you can. As you can see, driving distraction-free is incredibly important, because you just came to a stop on a busy street.
Ah!
What can we do to fight distraction? Well, it's up to each of us to take action against distraction. And it begins with you.
Getting ready to hit the road. Places to go, people to see, business to conduct. I see you all have your phones. Do yourself a favor. Do us all a favor. Just drive.
Hey, I'm just leaving. We can talk about this when I get to the job site, okay? See you later, bye.
Calls can wait until you're not driving. Put your phone out of reach to avoid temptation. And texting? Don't even think about it. Program directions before starting your trip. Familiarize yourself with the route and secure your phone.
Head east, then continue on to Villa Norte.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's go.
Hey, so what are we doing later?
Well, finish your call first. I want to get there, but I want to get there in one piece.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. I gotta go. I'll call you later.
Don't be afraid to speak up. Be assertive. Protect yourself.
We are going to be so late. Will you call Mom?
Sure, you just drive.
Let a passenger make important calls or texts.
Hey, Mom. We're on our way.
And model safe driving for passengers.
About 15 minutes. Hey.
If someone is calling you while they are driving,
Well, I can barely hear you. Are you driving?
end the call.
Just focus on the road and call me later.
And don't call or text anyone if you know they are driving. Download an app that automatically responds to incoming calls and texts to let people know that you are focused on your driving. You can make the road safer for everyone. Take action against distraction.
Just drive.
You can also help spread the word. Tell family and friends about what you have learned today and how they can avoid distracted driving. Spread the message at places you visit like work, school, the gym, everywhere. Finally, help make changes in your community. You can encourage development or enhancement of cell phone policies in the workplace, and support cell phone laws intended to make us all safer, and initiate or support campaigns to end distracted driving. What other things can we do to prevent future tragedies?
Begin by making a list of the people in your life who love you and need you. They could be your spouse, your child, your parents, and even your pets.
Next, with your loved ones in mind, commit to one simple first step that you can take to reduce distracted driving. This can be a personal action or something that can help others.
It could be something easy like putting my phone in the glove box or ending calls from people when I know they're driving, or allowing passengers to manage my phone.
Think about the effects of distracted driving every time you start the car.
In the United States, it's estimated that every 30 seconds there is a crash involving drivers using cell phones. We don't want you to become part of the statistic. Now let's review some important points.
Talking hands-free is no safer than handheld. Both increase crash risk up to 4 times compared to driving without distraction.
Crash risk for texting is at least double that of talking.
Cell phone distracted drivers take longer to react and are more likely to crash than drivers with a .08 BAC. That's the legal limit for alcohol intoxication for those aged 21 and older.
It is legal to talk while stopped in a designated parking area, even with the motor running.
It is only legal to use a handheld phone on the freeway in an emergency.
Voice to text is more distracting than typing text by hand.
We are not the only ones thinking about safety. Here's an appropriate quote from the world of sports from legendary Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda. Baseball is like driving. It's the one who gets home safely that counts. And what better way to describe why we all need to drive distraction-free?
to get home safely.
Who wants to play a game?
Not me.
Let's play Moo with the Cows.
City, dude.
Well, let's play Moo with the other cars. Moo!
Hey, cool it, man. We're not playing your distraction games anymore.
Good news. My work here is done. We're driving out of
The distraction zone.